County or the city?
The county.
We're working with the Oneida County right now.
Yeah, I work for the Board of Legislators.
So, Marcus, I can only give you another 5 minutes because I'm not sure that a good part of our audience is going to be able to handle any more of you.
I'm sorry.
And your liberal ways. So, although Caitlin's loving you in there, she's just loving you. And you know the one thing I have to say, too, about you as a liberal, liberals, there's a reason why on talk radio everything's conservative. I don't believe it's some giant conspiracy. It's because who wants to listen to the whiny liberal? It's just whine and cry and whine and whine. It's just not good radio. You, on the other hand, you're biting. You have an edge. You offend people.
Well,
and because liberals don't want to offend anyone.
Are you liberal? I wouldn't say you're a liberal. I would say you're a
Democrat. I'm a
Democrat.
liberal, but by today's standards, if I don't know, you think
Ronald Reagan is and this people rolling in their graves over this, but based on policies, you could say Ronald Reagan was far more liberal than what we're looking at today.
If you don't want poison water and you're a liberal. What are you doing?
George H.W. Bush, liberal.
Yeah.
Well, he endorsed Hillary. He's a liberal.
Your show just got canceled.
It's canceled. It's all over with.
There's a mob outside.
It comes with two parts of your personality because I'm liberal, but I'm from the Mohawk Valley, man. I'm from Central New York. I'm from Cornhill. And all three of those things mean that anytime you travel outside this area, somebody's gonna take a swing at you.
That's right, because you're a conservative
That's
hick.
just who we are.
Yeah.
Oneida County. You notice everybody that's ever made it out of Oneida County is like a head case. There's something you hear they get famous, and it's like
it's hard to get out.
They're like, what's the problem with this guy?
Yeah,
He's from Utica, man.
Yeah.
Steve Wynn.
Although Steve Wynn has kind of, but you don't know what they say behind his back, right?
Yeah.
So, but as someone who, and you're a unique perspective because you have, you're black and white, so you have biracial parents. Your dad is black, your mom is white,
right?
And so you see both perspectives, which is interesting.
Yeah, Thanksgiving was great this election season, guys.
Now it wasn't so bad that your mom was for Trump and
no, not my mom, but my mom's family. A lot of them is.
Oh, okay.
One of my uncles is in the FBI, and his perspective was interesting. And plus, my sister is a converted Muslim. You know what I mean? So I'm, I have all of that in my family, and I listen to everybody at dinner tables. And all of their and stuff, and I think, I can understand why people don't like hearing from other groups, but if we're all Americans, then we should be concerned about how what we say is impacting all Americans. Yeah. And we just weren't this election season, and it surprised the heck out of me.
We have been very sensitive, and maybe it's because we became too sensitive. And, we use the word politically correct. Maybe we just became look at the guy, the tennis commentator. Do you think he was being racist when Howard Cosell said, "Look at that monkey run"?
Right.
Do you think he was being racist? He wasn't. But today, if you make a mistake and you slip up and say something stupid, not intending to say something mean or nasty or racist, I do feel that people got onto this feeling that we've gone too far in one direction.
The pendulum has swung in the other direction.
Yes, it's taking a swing.
It's taking a swing. But, you have to root for the long-term interest of the United States of America.
So let's bring it back home. And I think this is a very good point. No matter where you are today, I think you do have to be rooting for the United States. So you got to be rooting for Donald Trump.
Well, you have to. I hope Donald Trump is the best president in the history of the world, because my kid's future depends on it. My future depends on it. The world's future depends on it. I'm picking on him and I'm getting partisan again. But the Secretary of Energy didn't know he was in charge of nuclear weapons. Now he's in charge of storing nuclear weapons and making sure we dispose of them. What if he puts one next to a drilling site?
Yeah.
This stuff is important.
Don't you think, though, that a lot of appointees, when a president first comes into office, green, they don't, sometimes it's political appointees, it's political favors. I don't think it's uncommon to have someone in that's got to pretty much learn the job.
I don't. And maybe that was an extreme or partisan answer. But the point that I'm trying to make is there are people that believe it doesn't matter who's there. because every time I listen to it, what does it matter? You know,
right.
we're gonna
that part. I don't. I agree with you. It's when things are sad. Donald Trump said he didn't say that about a handicapped reporter. Well, he did.
Right.
And it was more not as much as what he said. It's what he did. It was his gesture that he did. But and I don't want my kids acting like that. And it was tough for me to watch it. That for me was the reason why I didn't vote for Donald Trump.
If
it was
you have a daughter,
it was those things. But okay, if you have a daughter,
if you have a daughter and somebody was there fat shaming girls, and you've ever dealt with your daughter's body issue, I raised my daughter pretty much by myself with the help of my family, and she had body weight issues.
Yeah,
and when he starts judging women and scoring them and stuff like that, I mean, that's the person that's setting the tone for our society.
Yeah.
Fat girls aren't as valuable as skinny girls.
So if you but he doesn't really mean that. He doesn't, and that's what you're hearing.
The
today.
media lied about it.
But
I'm just wrong.
But it is the president. I think that makes it difficult.
And it's the president. And this notion that even with liberals and Obama, because I've talked to several of them. What's funny is I always considered myself pretty moderate. The thing about that is you can't not hold somebody accountable, even if you like them. You could say, "Hey, look, I like Donald Trump. Let's not make fun of handicapped people. I like Donald Trump. I want to see where his conflicts lie when it comes to financial ties." That doesn't mean he's not going to be a good president. It doesn't mean America won't be great. This idea that we can't hold anybody that we agree with accountable is a very scary idea.
Yeah,
to me,
going to be interesting.
Today's
are you going to watch today?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch. Look,
History.
I am pulling for the guy. I've had to watch a lot of painful things when I was a reporter before, and I want America to win. So if he does everything Jim Zeka says he's gonna do, then I'm buying everybody cake and ice cream.
Well, you won't need to because it'll already be provided.
There's already gonna be ice cream.
Steve Wynn.
Just quickly, because we mentioned Wynn and we're talking Trump, there was a story this week. I'm sure we've heard about this. Tom Ford, the designer, had made a comment that he wouldn't or didn't want to dress Melania Trump or never would or something for the inauguration. So Steve Wynn pulled Tom Ford's cosmetics,
jewelry,
clothing, sunglasses out of his casinos because of the Trump diss at the Wynn Las Vegas.
Yeah, I think all this is it's one thing to protest because you want to preserve your rights or you want to make some impact when it comes to selecting a Supreme Court justice. But to just come out and say he's not my president, I'm not comfortable with that. I think that's a big mistake. And, clearly Steve Wynn taking his constitutional right to be able to stand up and say, hey, I'm a private business owner, and your product's not going to be sold here.
We're not shirts versus skins. Like, we're all on the same team. Like, when Donald Trump goes and talks to China, I want him to say, America is behind me on this.
Yeah.
Because it's everybody acts like if the other guy won, I lost.
Right.
Let's just hope we all win.
I don't know when we get back to that, but it hasn't been like that for a long, long time. Marques Phillips, I think you should still be working in media, but I'm sure you're doing a great job at the county. You'll be fired soon, so who knows?
As soon as I get fired, I'll be back, man.
We'll talk to you.